I said, if people was to use nukes, I mean, Rostov, where I spent a lot of time, is only like less than 100 miles from where the fighting is. You know, the air changes and you got nuclear, fallout coming into Russia. He's not gonna start that thing. You know, it's me. And John, I'm very glad to talk to you, and I'll call you periodically.
Periodically. Thank you for calling from Moscow. You add a real dimension, and Carl, thank you. A great call, great observation. Thanks so much.
All right, bye.
Bye. 415-808-0810. You never know who's listening, do you? And you never know where they're calling from, do you? And we're left with the same questions.
What's up, DD?
John Rothman, right here on KGO.
John Rothman on KGO 810. Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Renee, hello. A couple minutes late tonight. I got to get my coffee.
And, all the stuff that the doctors and pharmaceuticals and stuff like that, I just don't like it. And
hang loose. The brain drain. Yeah, I was just listening. This guy called the radio show from Moscow. Interesting guy. Oh boy, oh, what a day, what a day.
Yeah, or MoskowitzLLP.com. Let's talk about your money and investment.
All right, let's get moving here. We're gonna have to go up here and get some, throw a little bit of fuel in. Move up a little more. Hope everybody's having a good day today. got some fuel. We've got some fuel. Yes, we do. Well, I don't think they're working together. China never recognizes working with, I've tried to tell you guys a million times, China has no interest in outside alliances. They'll give lip service to it, but as far as practical meaning, it means nothing. You think China wants to hear low-level tactical nuclear weapons? I mean, what the fuck? What is that? That's like an oxymoron. What the hell is a low-level tactical nuclear bomb? Like, really? It's crazy. They're no fans of Russia, let me tell you. You think they're not, you think that they're not thinking, hey Missy, hey Amanda, hey Kit and Kat, you think that they're not sitting back there thinking, shit, this guy's like fucking nuts, man. Like he's losing a war, right, that he started as an aggressor. Bullshit. Nah, I'm afraid that shit doesn't fly in Beijing. They're not used to dealing with kooks. You know. Oh, close your eyes, girl. Well, it's just nutty times, guys, so we got a lot of pressure. Stuff to talk about today. We got a lot of field in motion here, a lot of walkers, potential feeders here today. What's up, Nathaniel? I'm telling you, I spent 5 years in China. I understand the mentality of how Chinese people feel about China and external. They're a nation that's been used to getting their ass kicked around by colonial powers up until, you know, the 1940s. So they know. Well, thank you, Nathaniel. Love the Chinatown video. Thank you, sweetie. It was a fun live stream to have. They above all people know the cost of war and the brutality of war, having lived through the Nanjing terrible times of terrible. Oh, Vegas Rosie returns later tonight. We got a full slate of stuff to talk about. Don't forget, we switch up days to next Wednesday from Thursdays, because now we are, am I in far enough here? Yeah, I'm perfect, because now it seems like that NFL and the NCAA want to almost push to have football every single night of the week. What's up, Nicole? Love your comment about people popping the poppers. Release prison version. It's funny. Yeah, West Virginia's busting my balls a little bit here in the West Virginia Tech game, but it's still early on. But if I don't win this son of a bitch tonight, this West Virginia will account for about 30% of my losses this year. So, how you doing, Sarah Kate? What is going on, James? What is going on, my friend? How you doing? How are you doing? Right now, all West Virginia doing is just turning over the ball. Shakti's still there. What's up, Ewell? Good to see you. Hello, Jolie. Not really much to add from what I talked about last night. It's a little warm right now. It's a little sticky tonight. I think I'm going to put the air on. Yeah, KU's been on a roll. I wonder if it ends tomorrow. I don't know. They got Duke coming in, and I'll tell you, be a little nervous about that Duke team. What is your favorite gas station coffee? I guess my favorite gas station coffee would be like Love's, which is a truck stop, or a TA, because what they do there is they take a whole container of beans and they put it on top of the grinder, and every cup of coffee is made fresh right there. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah, we got 80 degrees. It's a little sticky here tonight. So good to see everybody. Nice to see you, Missy. I hope that you are doing well. We do have some coin down on Kansas City this week. What's up, Basic Bob? Hello. Quick Trip. Yeah, we don't really have Quick Trip out here. We got TA, not my TA, but the TA truck stops, and we got Love's out here, and then you get a lot of independents. But the worst is the 7-Elevens that still have their coffee in the pour pots that sit there all day long. Those are the worst of the worst. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Jersey Twister. How are you? I'm going to get to a couple questions that were asked to me today. Haven't been to Dutch Brothers. You haven't been to Dutch Brothers for a while. Wish we had 7-Eleven here in Arkansas. I'm shocked that there's no 7-Eleven in Arkansas. Hello, Seraphic. How are you? I'm surprised there's not a 7-Eleven down there in Arkansas. What's up, T.O.? How are you doing? What are we asking questions? I don't know. It's fine, Nicole. I mean, people see that financial markets are under the most pressure they've been under in quite a few years, and people are very concerned. They want to have some reinsurance, but they want realism too. They don't want somebody blowing smoke up their ass. They can get that from their broker. So I kind of just give my opinions on things, and some people hate it. A lot of people like it, but for those who want yucks, later tonight we'll be having the football betting for the weekend games coming up. Come and Go. Yeah, I've heard of them. We have Come and Go, hanging in during COVID on top of the old. I didn't know you. Oh yeah, you did have COVID, didn't you? So I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Enjoying my I do think 7-Eleven does a good coffee if they don't put it in the glass pots. That's the worst. That's like really old school crap there. If you make it in those big and put it in those big jugs, then it can stay warm for hours. It stays fresh. It's not sitting on that heat all the time, and it's still pretty damn good. I'm lucky. Usually when I come in around 4:30, he pops a new bid on there, so it's nice and fresh when I come in. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's nice to see you, Nicole. All of a sudden they're closing around here. The Wawa gas stations are getting popular. Yeah, first Wawas I ever saw were in Pennsylvania. Like the coffees. No, the coffee out in the open just sits on that burner all the time. Yeah, McDonald's coffee's pretty good. I had a McDonald's next to the hotel I was staying in, Koreatown in Los Angeles, and excellent coffee. Nowadays, when you order, it has a little machine in the back that dispenses all the drinks, and they're constantly moving in a loop. And, they don't even have humans that are handling, because the volume's so high at that McDonald's that they already have a lot of automation in there. Yeah, happy first day of fall. Hey, natural state government accountability. What's up, Shemay? How you doing? Somebody have a name like that? Now we're getting Love's here in Clarksville, Arkansas. It's huge. Yeah, Love's are good. Their hot dogs are really good too. Let's see. America's no longer a mom and pop's country, but a big corporation one. Probably because the cost of startup is so high. And when you've run through a period where we have had high real estate values and price appreciation, it's much more attractive for banks and lending institutions to put their money towards something where they have a higher degree of collateral, as opposed to taking over your restaurant equipment when you fail, which of course 2 out of 3 restaurants do fail, and they're left with the equipment that is, it's got to be, it's a dime a dozen. There's used stuff here like crazy, right? So that's why it's harder for Main Street businesses, I think, because it's harder to get the money. Hey, Blondie. I mean, if I'm a banker and somebody, I've asked you guys 100 times, please tell me a business that you think would be a good one to put on, to do it up. A good business to put money in. And I don't know. Nobody's really told me. The only good thing about the first day of fall is also my daughter's, oh, happy birthday. Other than that, it's just another day, huh? Yeah, so what would you open on Main Street as we walk down the streets? If we look at 4th Street here, we have a couple thrift/antique stores that are interesting for people that like to browse. And other than that, you have a couple restaurants. You have a furniture store that I guess they're struggling, Old Town Furniture there. But other than that, I can't think of anything that somebody would want to open that might be successful. It's just, it's you guys tell me. I would open a wig store. Well, we got plenty of them here. And also a lot of wigs are sold online now through Vogue. And, I have videos of me going and trying wigs on years ago, back in 2013. And, fun videos, Elizabeth's and things. But they just couldn't make it. So everything's kind of sold. Yeah, we got a lot of bridal shops here. Or survival store disguised as a boutique. What's up, Russ? What's for dinner tonight? I think tonight I'm gonna probably have a little pasta because I had a second day of moving today and I worked my ass off packing and humping boxes and moving stationary exercise bikes that weigh 5,000 pounds and 900-inch TVs and stuff. So I like the lace in this store fronts. Yeah, because I'd be afraid to open. Yeah, I mean, also, how many people are getting robbed blind when you have a store? Everything's going to end up being behind plastic, and it's going to lose its convenience factor. There's people, I'm just saying, it might as well have been. I have a problem in life relaying proper sizes of things. It's probably a 90-inch. I don't know. I think maybe I moved the decimal point incorrectly or something like that. Yeah, it's hard to compete with Walmart and Amazon, because you just don't have any hassles. You can send it back. You're going to get decent shipping. It's usually going to come in one piece. A food co-op might be successful in the right location. Now, how would a food co-op run, Noreen? What would it be? A boutique that caters to transgender people. Sugarcane, I think it's too narrow a business. It's a very, 3% to 5%, 1.5% of the population is declared trans. I don't know. Yeah, I moved the whole damn theater. I felt like it did. I felt like I was moving a damn IMAX screen. I'm like, how in the hell y'all afford this stuff? Right? I mean, I don't even run TV or anything. Y'all have like a theater and you got, humping heavy armchairs and lazy boys. Man, I'm not 24 years old, right? I mean, I'm gonna nut myself, right? Doing all this stuff. Doggone. Yeah, like an IMAX. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Food co-ops are difficult to get. You need investors, members to put money in. And like Noreen, because I'm totally ignorant on this. We have things here called, like, there's a shop where I go to get my peanut butter. I got my Ezekiel bread and stuff, but it's called Community Market here. It's the oldest established hippie, like, community market here, but I'm not sure what the business model is. Pushing transgender. So, oh, I know. The backlash is going to be severe on that, as I've said many times. Sugarcane. It's I don't give a fuck. I'm not asked. I don't think we deserve to be at the head of the line. Nothing special, right? I ask you for your pronouns. Man, you got to be shitting me, really? Asked you for your pronouns. Just come unhinged in this country. It used to be, and I mean, Nicole's been in as long as I have, and even longer, transitioning and stuff like that. It was just, I never felt like I had a target on my back before as being trans. I felt like, hey, you're going to get some abuse sometimes, but when you look about, drag queens reading to kids and books and agendas jamming down the throat of kindergarten kid, what gender is? How about fucking reading and writing and arithmetic? Huh? How about that? How about if we just get down and boogie on that shit? I mean, why don't we start there? Let the children do. I mean, I didn't talk about sexuality in kindergarten. I mean, I discovered Michelle Galindo in 9th grade. I was happy, you know. Then in 10th grade we had health class, and we were, really? It didn't hurt me. But nowadays we have to agenda-size people, and I can understand why some states have pushed back radically against that, because it's not the commitment of what it is that school is about. Hey, High Watch, using the F-bomb. What's up, Tony? Well, I'm going to F-bomb West Virginia a lot tonight if they don't get their shit together. They're definitely nut jobs that was stalking her ass. Yeah, Slugbo, and I just, I've been low-key. I never had to think about it before. Yeah, I don't do the community thing either, right? I don't do the... Welcome to the chat, the General, for the very first time ever. I don't get involved in that either. Thank you, Nathaniel. But I know one thing, we're pretty damn unhinged when we think it's so important. I guess people think it's important to change the roots of society. Let's see, the community market is a non-profit. Co-ops may not be non-profit. They definitely need investors to get going. I don't know. We got 2-year notes at 4.10% today, free of state and local. I was shocked today to wake up and see that the 10-year note had exploded overnight from 3.51 to 3.68 or something like that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, that's a lot. So markets are rattled. I've never seen you before, the General, and I know every single person that comes in here. Lots of straight men want to date trans that are scared of what society thinks. Currently limited with extinction. I would love to live near a co-op. Great places to shop. I don't know. Here you go in the community market. I've taken you guys in on a live stream before, and it's pretty much, you're not going to have any corporate stuff there. It's going to be pretty good quality stuff, but it's going to cost a few bucks more. And economics always says that the lowest cost provider is the one that is going to make the lion's share of the money, the lowest reasonable cost, the lowest cost with a decent quality. There's no brand loyalty that a few cents off doesn't overcome. Okay. So RuPaul ruined drag. I'm just not like you're a thoughtful person, Noreen. You think of the model of supporting a community, and we create our own local jobs. People have a stake in what's going on, but at the margin, in the whole grand scheme of things, it's always going to be the most economical provider. It's, when we go on Amazon and we sort things by lowest price, and then we look at the reviews to see if it's decent or not. But I know that. I'm looking at that. Hey, Roy, I'm always willing to pay top dollar for Honda. Yeah, I do too. Because you're getting more. You're getting proven more. I finally got a Honda lawnmower at home. It mulches, it bags, one pull and it starts. It's a great machine. I'll pay up for that because the perceived quality difference tells me over the long run it's going to be more economical to have that Honda than to be buying a MTD from Lowe's after 3 years, right? With some POS unbranded name thing, and I saw some $3 and $5 Dodge me not too long ago. Maybe it's just folks wanted cheap stuff, and now we got TSMC located in Taiwan or China, another $1 million jewelry smith. Yeah, James, it's we talk about let's have Main Street businesses and stuff like that, but how about how difficult it is to establish a business on Main Street? And now you have the additional worry of security. You have regulations here. Everybody has to check off on it. There's tax licenses. There's sales tax license. There's business taxes, business license here in Santa Rosa. It's a pain. Fire department's got to come in. If you're going to open a restaurant, it's got to pass code, and it's a lot of stuff to do, right? And the smash and grab, yeah. Hey, Garrett, how you doing? Things in my first of the now 3 and 5. Inflation is getting too real. It's too hard on that supply chain to supply stuff for cheap. I'm just 4 months away from Medicare and drop my current insurance when the kids should I? Well, Blondie, I'm going to just get a Part B supplemental, right? A good bakery might do well. Yeah, a good bakery might do well, but our bakery, our main bakery here closed, a pretty famous one. Hey, Charles. It was featured on the radio every Saturday on Food and Wine Hour. Mariel, I don't know, Hemingway, her name was, that ran the place. It's a think about that. You got a bakery, unless you're gonna buy from other suppliers, you got to be up there in the morning. That's the only thing they have here. Sugarcane, it's growing as weed dispensaries. But if you're going to have a bakery, you got to be up early in the morning, finding people that are going to show up, and they're not going to call, you go to the store at 9 a.m. It was supposed to be open at 4. The door's locked, and you're like, what the hell happened? Hey, Barry. So you end up doing it yourself. Right? There's so many small restaurants that have closed recently here in Santa Rosa because the family has had to pitch in because they can literally not afford they can't have people that show up, or they can't afford the cost structure anymore. I live more than 50% in Baja. Yeah. Wait for the cartelos to show up at your door. Tony T will crap himself. The French baker does too. Plus these days, supermarkets and Costco, they've branched into croissants and cakes, and I haven't eaten meat since Sunday. I think I had, what did I have last night? I had meat last night, didn't I? I don't even... Oh, I had noodle. I had the hot noodle. No, I had the chicken the night before. It's getting too hot because of climate change. Yeah, it depends what part, like coastal California and all that kind of stuff. It just depends. Commercial rents are the main reason. Yeah, closing here. They're too expensive. But what are they going to put in place of that, Amanda? Isn't there not too many stores or cartel? It's getting worse down there too. Because as you know, there's a certain flow coming in here, and the big kingpins want to have a choke. They want to be the guys that are doing it up. The baked goods at Costco are not high quality. I want real butter, no preservatives in my baked. Yeah, more chains or they just sit empty. Exactly. You know, if I'm in a bank and some kids come in that are 25 years old, yeah, I got a business degree from Sonoma State University or whatever. We want to put a game shop and comic books and you know, we want a hobby shop thing. I'm like, you guys want a cup of coffee or something? Before I lay the bomb on them. The capital one. The answer's always no. Oh, the hot noodle was good last night. Jen wasn't there, so you know, I could slurp a little bit on it without. Yeah, the answer's always no. Right, Shimei? I mean, the answer is always no. I mean, I can't think of a business idea that somebody would walk in the door today and just say, hey, it's a great idea. 6 hours hill and then go to Oakland. Oh, Tony T, I've been down the Baja Peninsula from San Luis to Acapulco in Mexico City. It's real. Yeah, Oakland's got crime and stuff, but you know, they're not seeking you out in the rich areas there. That happens in International Boulevard, places like that. But you have more and more cartels that go on raiding parties to wealthy areas of the Baja Peninsula. So I enjoyed my time in Mexico. San Luis, Los Algodones, Mexicali. I've probably been more well-traveled in Mexico than 98% of the people on here. I've heard that Costco is the way to go. Lots of stuff, but I can't afford. Yeah, I can't buy in big quantities like that. Yeah, I don't know. PC, that's crazy, right? Crime is going to be everywhere. The thing that was very interesting, a life coach. Oh, I don't know, Sugar Kid. The thing that was interesting about crime, and I'll tell Tony T this. In like Tijuana, right now the crime is rising again on the streets of Tijuana. They put on a show a month ago where they murdered 10 people and shot up the streets and had a big shootout there. But the cool thing about that, they put out an announcement the night before. They said, you know, we don't have anything against people that are visiting, but please be off the streets by 9 p.m. You won't have a bit of problem. And I think for the most part in Mexico, you're not going to have a problem. The big part of Mexico is getting shaken down. Okay, whether you're driving and the police pull you over and it could be 8,000 pesos or, you know, and if you don't have the money, you know, that's the big risk is corruption is super high there. That's the biggest thing, especially in the metropolitan areas. That if you run slightly afoul and you get the attention of people, that you can have a problem there with being nabbed by bribes and crap like that. So no, never going to happen, Sugarcane. Why would I ever run for president? I mean, and put myself in the hot seat. What am I going to tell people? Just deal with the pain? We're going to cut your benefits by 30% because we just don't have the revenue. We can't float any more. No, I do every Thursday night. It's going to be Wednesday and Sunday. I do a sports betting segment on betting sports. And Thursdays, soon to be Wednesdays, I give the outlook for football, NCAA, college, and pro ball. So, no sugarcane. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna. You got my full man's going to bed here. I'm gonna. Okay, Nicole. Is suitable? Yeah, it's not suitable for the Oval Office, and the hell with that. So if you're interested, we've compiled a pretty good record so far this season. Oh, man. No Presidente, huh? That guy's pushing a load. If I was running, I wouldn't win. I mean, people don't want to be told the truth, that we've lived way beyond our means, and we've literally borrowed the prosperity that we enjoy today. Instead of telling people, you want more, we heard you, we're going to have to raise taxes to give you more. No, it's like, well, we have the ability to borrow unlimited amounts of money, and we have the ability to monetize unlimited amounts of debt and to literally create money out of thin air. No state has the ability to do that. Okay, so the federal government, to keep people happy, has engaged in wholesale cheapening of the currency in order to give the illusion that people are living well when they're actually sinking in pits of debt. How many people are going to be house shackled now to homes that are now declining in price faster than any time since 1997? Right? Yeah, sugarcane, I've just got to remove that comment. I can't have that word on the I can't have the R word on there. Yeah, look at the debt, but nobody gives a shit anymore because nothing's happened. They think it's all cool because nothing's happened yet. Right? So I've told you my theory of why interest rates are rising, because commodity prices have certainly been coming down. And that's because risk in the system is growing. And I woke up today and saw that the 10-year note exploded. I mean, it's a relative term. But every time interest rates tick up, it puts more pressure. It's like water behind a dam until it reaches a point where the dam can't sustain anymore and it just blows. Okay, I feel that pressure rising right now. I thought it's a way to earn some more, but I'm scared of losing. I never bet any money. Well, I think about things, right? It's very hard to beat sports. We'll talk about that tonight. But I'm just saying, today, down again, right? Another down day in another attempt to rally failed, and more selling into the close and things like that. So the question that I got today was, when does it end? When do we put in some type of... Where do we draw the line and say, this is our last stand here, we're not going to go lower? Well, they're having that last stand right now at the 30,000 level on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, but the pressure is building. Well, Blue Oak, we bet $25 on a game. I could never imagine in my life putting $2,000 on a sporting event. Right? It's just ridiculous. I'm not wired that way. Okay? I am not wired that way. It can be a disease. But, Slugbo says September's usually a down month. Hey, Timothy, it is. But past September should not have a bearing on what's going now, just because it's a seasonal trend. Everything has its own drivers, right? The Federal Reserve is very happy that interest rates are crushing the real estate market. They're happy that money is getting purged out of this potential spending power is being ripped out of the economy. They're very happy with that because they think that inflation is the big enemy. Down there with all the stimulus, everything was shit. Yeah, it was money was given out that wasn't earned. I don't know, Nick B. I'd like to think that Putin just talks a lot of bullshit to just get things slowing down and have people consider, I don't know, what the hell's a low-level tactical nuclear bomb, right? I mean, it's oxymoronic. As if you're going to contain it to a small area. I mean, the guy's a nut job, and if this guy has to be taken out, then a lot of people are going to die in the world, and it may be an uninhabitable world. Just food for thought. All right. I like to think that cooler heads prevail, and I like to think when Putin gives the order to launch the nuke or whatever, that the chain of command says no. And they pull out their sidearm and say, we're putting you under arrest. Right? We got families, we got people. We're not taking this. We're not doing that. I mean, you had 1,400 people that were arrested today protesting. Hey, Jake, this conscription of 300,000 more people to feed into the meat grinder of this Ukrainian war. Okay? Putin's biggest deal, does he regret that he ever did it? Damn right he does. Does he need to save face to get out? Yeah. That's why it's important, in my opinion, that he has some type of off-ramp to use to de-escalate, and I don't know what it would be. Yeah, 300,000 people to put in the meat grinder, and people are just going to walk away from the battlefield, hold up their weapons, and just walk off, man. Right? So he's tried to couch this as a threat from the West, but he's the one that took he drew first blood. But where will it end? I don't know. But you better believe your ass. Yeah, hey Jake, you better believe that we're geared up, that we are geared up on alert for the worst. All right, you better believe that there's people sitting down that are drawing up plans of what's going to be flying first. Yeah, they're raw recruits, Blondie. They ain't going to be trained. They're just going to be marched off on a step off a train, and there you go. Oh, and by the way, winter's coming. Remember Russian winter and all that. Raising electric, the rates are going to go up. Electric rates are going to go up and stuff, okay? But what I wanted to say about this current downtrend here is, yeah, we may have a rally here and there, but until this pressure comes off of interest rates, which I can't see why it would, because you have people like Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, they're happy. They like to see the pain. They know it's accomplishing the mission of getting rid of a frothy housing market, getting rid of a frothy stock market, getting rid of frothy Bitcoin bullshit and wiping it out. Okay? He's so convinced that everything will be good and it'll just be a moderate lurching downward. But if he pushes it too hard and we go over on a cascading waterfall, then the amount of damage that will have been done at that point it will take years to crawl out of that hole. Years. Okay, that's the risk that they're running right now. Because they know they screwed up with the printing of money and all that. And people want to be guys, I woke up today, hard landing, a crash landing. I woke up today to the news. Now I saw it about 4 o'clock in the morning. You get older, you don't sleep so well. You get up a little bit, you look at what's going on. Japan's intervening to try to prop up the yen. We know how that works in the long run. I remember Exchequer of the Treasury, Nigel Lawson or whatever, back when they couldn't get the pound into the euro, right? And we were just licking our chops betting against the pound till one day they gave up, and he said, we're not going to try anymore. Boom. Hey, Scottish, how you doing? I'm doing good. Intervention never fixes the root of the problem, which is Japan's economy is so weak that they're afraid to raise interest rates like we have here. So they have a 0.25% interest rate on a 10-year note. We have 3.7%. Now, where do you think the money's going to migrate to? People are selling yen and they want to be in dollars. So the U.S. is like a big whirlpool that's sucking in all the money now. Okay, and it's scaring the hell. I mean, is the British pound going to go 1-to-1 to the U.S. dollar? What is it, $1.12? Pretty scary. I think when my father was born, it was about $4 to the pound. When I was born, it was about $2.40 to the pound. Now $1.12. So when you use that pound or you use that currency to try to buy things international trade, and people want dollars and things like that, you got to buy dollars to do it. So the cost of it keeps going up. The cost of stuff imported into Britain and things. So it's a crazy kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know about that. You'd know about that, Donnie. You're the expert on that. I did enjoy your videos on your cross-dressing adventures in Arizona. That was exciting. I read that El Salvador uses it. Yeah, they're also the ones that got all involved in buying Bitcoin, which sits at about $19,000 of Bitcoin now. So, hey, day's been okay, EJ. Chilling out. It's kind of a warm night tonight. Yeah, Hong Kong is basically pegged to the U.S. dollar. All right, well, Donnie Don, we haven't ever seen you in the chat before, so I doubt that, but you're welcome to be in here. We have a perfect idea of who's been here before and who hasn't, so you're welcome to be here. So when will it stop? Well, when the psychology. Oh, I'm Blue Oak. I grew up in Baltimore with the storied Baltimore Colts. One of the 5 greatest franchises in NFL history. Johnny Unitas, and the greatest game ever played, December 1958, sudden death overtime, first big television championship game, Frank Gifford against Johnny Unitas, right, the whole deal. So I grew up with it, man. I was spoiled. And then it broke my heart in '83 when the Colts took off to Indianapolis, right? We don't care, Donnie. Just stop talking about it, okay? So when the Ravens came in, I don't know what it was, 90s, 2000 or something, it was like, yeah. And then they went out and they've already won 2 Super Bowls. So it's been a little disappointing this year. We'll talk about it tonight. They always put a quality product on. They're always competitive. They're always going to be there. But it's a hell of a year. It's a hell of a year this year. Do you have a badass emergency kit and bug out bag? I'm thinking of building something. No, DLS. I guess I'm just going to go down with the ship. The only thing I have is a lot of weaponry. So if I have to purloin somebody's bug out kit, it's going to be like Grand Theft Auto the 6th, the Santa Rosa edition, when the shit hits the fan. WTS HTF, when the shit hits the fan. I'm going to take whatever the hell I want. No, I have a lot of provisions. I have a lot of provisions because my biggest fear for the future is social instability, which we already see. We're supposedly in good times with record low unemployment. People got money, people got fancy cars, they got expensive houses. They tell me they're doing well. But yet, we see on the social margin that things are fraying. Now, of course, it starts in urban areas, but eventually it's like a ripple wave that just moves out. And it causes people to want to arm themselves in expanding areas outside. So we become truly an armed nation where violence almost becomes an accepted way of the future. And nobody wants to open a store because you got to put everything behind plastic. Canadian coins are getting changed. Well, they were 73 Canadian dollars, U.S. What is the Canadian? I don't know what $1.23 to a Canadian, $1.24 to a Canadian. It takes $1.24 Canadian to buy $1 American or something like that. All right, so Canada's got a lot of resources, though. I'd be damn slow about being negative on Canada in the long haul. So, but this social fraying is a consequence of money draining out of the system now. Okay, as the water level goes low, the amount of oxygen dissolved in the water reduces, and everybody starts having breathing and survival problems, and people start to get a little crazy. Yeah, it's off the chart because we buy prosperity through borrowed money. And why should the individuals be different than government? How do you think banks make their money? How much money do you think banks are going to lose coming up? When do you think that the big write-offs are going to begin in real estate and things? You think that Jamie Dimon, who sat in a committee before Senator Warren today, and I mean, she hates his guts, she hates bankers. All right, but she's not balanced in her approach. She's a hater. Okay, but Jamie Dimon, he knows this is the smartest banker in the world, and he knows what's coming up. Okay, he knows the pain that's going to come down. He knows the social disorder. Right? If you look at New York City, they're $10 billion behind in revenue compared to before the pandemic. They've had the highest rental rates in America, and now when we reach a point where real estate's turning down and the banks are getting ready to cull and lay off their first round of employees, which they always do when times get tough, it's going to be very hard to sustain the New York way of life, right, at these prices, because people are just gonna, I'm sure they're already draining out of New York City like they're slowly draining out of California. But to me, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? Because as you know, people leave California, it becomes, you know, the chance of straightening out becomes greater over time. All right, and places like Texas become bluer as they welcome, oh, we're so happy. We have so many new people coming into the state. Yeah, they're going to start affecting your, you know, your politics and things like the chick who, yeah, she's Pocahontas, they call her. Yeah, Pocahontas. Now, did she care about the average person in America? Yeah, but she has some really messed up notions about what it takes to be successful in America. She sees banks and things as the enemy. All right, I get more Canadian penny in my chain. Yeah. Well, it's you're getting ripped off every time you get a Canadian penny and change, right? So you're getting a 23% haircut. You're taking a 23% loss, whatever Canadian money hits your pocket. All right, in terms of spending power and all that. So when does this stop? Well, this is the reason I've continuously talked about the Elliott wave theory, because the Elliott wave theory is the only theory that explains and wraps psychology into markets. That through history, the same patterns repeat itself because human nature repeats itself. People make the same mistakes at market peaks. They get too greedy for real estate. They get too greedy for stocks. They get too greedy for Bitcoin. And at the opposite end of the spectrum, they get too scared when the bottom's in because they think what's going down is never going to stop going down. So when everything is on sale, there's no customers in the store. But when everything is terrifically overpriced, you can't even get into the store. There's so many people that want to buy at ridiculous prices. So the Elliott wave theory gives you a way to chart this psychology as markets move. And right now, the psychology is getting ready to go from one of complacency, where people have no real concern that the it'll come back deal. You know, it always comes back. We've got no need to worry about, everybody's sitting tight. Nobody's pulling the plug. Okay? They're like, oh, I'll just bide my time, despite the fact that they see every day that the markets take more and more and more. And they start to read the creepy news headlines about Meta, Facebook's going to lay off 10% of their staff. They see that banks are going to, and investment houses are going to start cutting employees and things. They see that real estate prices are starting to go down. They know to be a broker in the future is not going to be a very pleasant thing to be in terms of being selling and stuff like that. It's not going to be good to be a stockbroker or a financial advisor, in my opinion. And these are very, very big paying jobs. Okay? These are like high-end service jobs. This is as big as it gets. Hey, Angus. So as markets have been going down from January of 2022, we hit a low in June, then we bounced into mid-August, and we've been coming down, and we're getting ready possibly to go below the low of June. If we go below that low and close below it, then it'll send a signal that this bear market has been confirmed, and it has further to go. And it's possible at that point in time that selling will accelerate because the news will start to reinforce why things are going down. People's psychology will change from complacency to watchful concern. Okay? And they're still not pushing the button to take action, despite the fact if they sold today, they would still be at a profit level of a 2017, 2018 level. Right, down 20% on the Dow or whatever. Well, 80% of something might be better than, 10% eventually. But yeah, you start to bring on, now you start to mix into the swirl people that begin to lose their jobs. And they need to start liquidating investment portfolios because remember, in economic hardship, you can liquidate IRAs and things like that. You can break them early and start to liquidate them. All right. People need to get the hell out from under their house now. The wife's a real estate broker. She was making $250,000 a year, right, down in OC, selling OC, the great Netflix series and things. And the husband's a financial advisor, okay? And all of a sudden, the future looks a little, ooh. So you have people that begin to sell to raise money to live on. And at the same time, when the redemptions come in, you have the mutual fund companies that are chock full of stock. They start puking out securities onto the market because they need to redeem it, because finally people have gone from complacency to concern. And with concern comes acceleration. And then you have eventually more and more people come into this world, because let's face it, everybody has a breaking point. At 20% is not the breaking point so far. What will the breaking point be? I don't know. But if the news is reinforcing about what's going on in the economy, then the Elliott wave tells us right now we're at the accelerating phase of the decline. If we break that below that level of 29,900, whatever, that's going to move a whole lot of professional money managers to start blowing out stuff. So that's how the psychology shifts. And then when people finally reach the point that they're just puking their holdings to get what they just think that there's no bottom, they're going to get whatever the hell they can. At that point, you put in a temporary bottom that leads to the beginning of wave 4 of the downtrend, until eventually you have a wave 5 down of the 5 waves down there. So how do you get so? You study a lot DLS, you study a lot of market history. I'm not the one that developed the Elliott wave theory. Ralph N. Elliott, an accountant who was stricken with terrible illness, was laid up for 6 months or a year in LA with nothing to do in the 1920s, and he set about studying markets, and he found something very remarkable. It's only one of a lot of theories that are out there, but it's the only one that wraps psychology into it, the way human nature is. And that's the one constant in life, is human nature never changes. People behave the same way with panic and greed in Roman times that they do today. We had the same problems of creating inflation in Roman times, cheapening the currency, taking silver and adding other metals to the coin, clipping gold coins, clipping little pieces of gold off the edge so that nobody notices, right? Debasing currency. It's an old. Yeah, every crisis creates a new set of billionaires, but it also creates a new set of paupers. And the highest class of paupers, with the furthest to go, will be the people that leverage their life the most with borrowed money, whether through expensive housing, thank you, Francis, overpriced investment portfolios, overpriced automobiles and trucks. The most telling statistic of the last 6 months is it's over half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck that are making a combined family income of $250,000 a year. Paycheck to paycheck. I use Wet and Wild brand. I don't know what this color is. Well, thank you, sweetie. So there's the answer to the people that ask, in my opinion, where do we put a bottom? Do you think all the arrogant looking real, I don't know, will be going away? I want to tell you a story. I'm a good observer of things, what people do, not what they say. I've shown magazine covers from 2005 from Time Magazine, Fortune Magazine, and Money Magazine showing how Americans are gaga over real estate, which literally marked the end of that upswing. By 2008, people were running for the hills. Short sales, foreclosures, banks were eating shit. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, down the toilet. 6 months ago, I'm relatively new to TikTok. I'm just scrolling through, like Shimei says. TikTok's a cesspool, but I love it, right? It's interesting, short blurbs. And there's tons of real estate agents in Snoqualmie, Washington, or Towson, Maryland, or Hunt Valley, Maryland, and Florida, and Las Vegas, and they're all coming on and crowing about how much over asking people were paying. How is that different from stocks when you have a Meta corporation, a Facebook that hit over $400 a share and is now, I don't know, 147, 160? Right? But that's supposed to be the great, that's the real deal there. Guess what? I don't see these brokers anymore. They closed their TikToks. They got tired of the abuse that was being heaped on them. So they melted into the woodwork. Don't see them anymore. It's a natural reaction, right? I don't hear anybody pushing. Remember around the time of the Super Bowl when Tom Brady's coming out and telling you about crypto, Visa card? Be smarter with crypto, right? The first and only credit card that ties into your Bitcoin. And I thought to myself, when sports guys start promoting shit, I hear the fat lady singing in the distance. The best maxim you can ever have for investment is, when everybody's jealous of what you have, let them have it. Okay? Sell it to them at that moment. The greatest investment maxim, deactivated TikTok. I enjoy TikTok. It allows me to express the wild me and have a little bit of fun on there, and I put up some Cecil clips and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. I could be dead wrong. Elliott Wave could be full of shit. But the only thing I can say is, so far, things have really tracked well. The psychology, I can tell it's starting to shift. We had the first leg down in from January to June, and nobody was concerned about it. We had a rally, everybody got all excited again, happy days are here again. Now we've turned down, now more time has gone by in the real world, more news reports start coming out. On top of social crime and shit like that. Theft from stores, horrible shit. Now we're getting the first little peeps of, the thundering herd of layoffs coming in the distance. Hey, Crow. Now, as we embark on wave 3 to the downside, people start to get progressively more concerned, and we see that in the psychology on the daily now. So it's just something to think about, something to be aware of. That I think the best thing that you can study is human nature. And social media has been a perfect thing. It used to be magazines like Time, Fortune, Money Magazine would be the thermometer of social over-investment and stuff like that. Now you got social media, right? The next wave of things you're going to hear about is people that cry that they lost their big-time job. We got to move out, either got to move in with mom and dad or whatever. Yeah, it was a $36,700 or something. Okay, interest rates were 0.75%. Every time those interest rates go up, it's like a noose tightening around the neck. Is there any opportunities you're looking out for during the next bottom out crash? Well, DLS, after we have what could be, and I'm not predicting it, I'm saying in terms of Elliott Wave, it's the likely next thing to happen. The problem is you can't immediately rush in. Things have to build a base. Oh, that's nice, Amanda. Okay, it's, you know, and yeah, you want to kind of get that tested bottom and be bottom, but let me tell you, when that time comes around, number one, that'll be a temporary way station on the way to 2024, 2025 when markets bottom. Okay. But at that point in time, you will probably, and I don't say this to be mean, you will probably lack the courage to step forward and buy because you will have gotten literally the shit scared out of you. I grew up, and I remember visiting my grandfather, and I would talk to him about the crash of 29 and all that stuff, and he worked for Commercial Credit Corporation in Baltimore and things. And I talked to him, and this was in the early 80s, and I said, you know, more people are starting to get involved in stocks and stuff. Interest rates are going down. And he's like, that stuff is... They sell people a load of shit. The only thing I own is Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, BG&E. Hey, Josh. There was a whole generation that came after that was scarred. Okay, it took until 1958 for the Dow to pass its 1929 peak. You got a lot of people that have to lose the love of stocks for the long term. Bag holding a bunch from the crazies, and I just wait to buy the big dip. If I'm bag holding a bunch, I just wait. I don't know, Josh. I predict a lot of people will be too fearful. All right? Because they can't, it's human nature. You watch and see something that never happened in your lifetime for the first time, and you stand back awestruck. And you're thinking, shit, this thing could, I'm going to step in here? The psychology won't support that. And that's the basic problem with it, is people can't motivate themselves at that point because they can't overcome the psychological hurdle. Because it takes a tremendous amount of fortitude to go against the crowd. Well, you might want to invest in personal security. I see security as a dynamic growth industry of the future. Will its PE ratio be knocked down? Will its valuations be knocked down with everything else? Yeah. But there will be people that will want to invest in security. People that have a lot to lose, people that, now feel the need because society is nutty that they need to have personal protection. And we slip in like a third world nation now. Or second, go to the Philippines. Everybody has their personal attaches and guards. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting fall and winter. Tom Likas, I have no idea. I've heard the name before. But it takes a lot of guts it takes the guts of a cat burglar to step in sometimes when the psychology is negative, because are you really going to be the one to stand in that torrent of a river and be the one to go against the tide and buy? Well, we know Nathan Rothschild did when his carrier pigeons brought news of the victory of he was the only one that was smart enough to use carrier pigeons and got the first word after everybody believed that Wellington got his ass kicked by Napoleon at Waterloo. He was the first one to get news, and he was buying everything in sight before the news broke. People thought he was fucking insane on the floor of the exchange. Dave Ramsey says smart folks take advantage of crisis. Dave Ramsey also said real estate prices aren't going down. I have about this much respect for Dave Ramsey. He's a shill. The only good piece of advice that Dave Ramsey ever gives is pay down your debt. But now I don't even know if that's good. I don't even know if that's good advice anymore, because maybe the government comes in and tells you you don't have to pay it anymore. I don't know. I'm not a big acolyte for Dave Ramsey. Nice guy. Farmland, I don't know. It's just a question of purchasing power and who's going to have the money to scoop it up and the willpower. It's very hard that anything escapes the you. When the wrath of God comes down, it's very hard to find safe haven. What kind of government would that be? Well, flip a coin. Anarchy or authoritarian? Take your pick. How do you think a government's going to act when they got to give bad news to people? Like it or lump it, folks. But we have a lot of people that have had a very feather-bedded existence of a lot of comfort and good earnings and things like that are very, very ill-equipped to deal with the future that's coming. Is democracy on its fine? Are we in for a dictatorship? T.O. in 1933, when President Roosevelt was driving to his inauguration, sitting next to Herbert Hoover, they never said a word to each other. On March 3rd or 4th, 5th, 6th of 1933, and remember that time when you got elected in November, you didn't get sworn in January. You had to wait till March. So the country was going down the shitter for months. As they were driving down Constitution Avenue and got to the Capitol building, President Roosevelt said, "What the hell is on top of the Capitol building? It looks like some kind of freaking military installation up there." And Hoover didn't say a word to him, but one of the people riding along said, "Well, Mr. President, the mood of the crowd is very foul." By this time, thousands of banks had closed their doors, panic and runs on banks. People were scared as hell. And the Army had suggested that they set up some protection because at that point in time, in that moment, they feared that people may actually have an event like happened on January 6th of 2021. That people would storm the Capitol and say, "We're tired of hearing empty words." So they had machine gun nests on top of the Capitol building. The first and last time that they ever had machine guns mounted because the mood was so terrible on that day. But Roosevelt was such a master when he got up and said, "Let me first of all assert my firm belief that we have nothing to fear but fear itself." I mean, there were millions of Americans glued to their radios wondering if this country was even going to move forward. And T.O. Roosevelt assumed dictatorial powers with the first 100 days. Everything he wanted, he got. Every single piece of legislation. People demanded action. And there were many calls. Hey, Iowa, there were many calls to have a dictatorship. Okay, so does democracy fail? Because the roots of democracy are rooted, the bad roots are rooted in the Treasury. And the reason democracy fails is because people vote themselves largesse from the Treasury. As de Tocqueville said back in the late 1780s, early 1800s, when he visited America, and they marveled how great it was. And somebody asked him, well, how long will this go? And he said, it'll go until the people start voting themselves benefits from the treasuries like crazy. Well, we already passed that point. You think people want to be told to do with less? You think people want to see a foreclosure notice tacked to their door? You know, whatever. We have representative government. Think people are going to be in a happy mood when they lose their analyst job on Wall Street, or Charles Schwab closes the office here in Santa Rosa and 10 people are laid off? Or Barbara Corcoran closes her 5 or 6 luxury real estate offices in the county here? Yeah, Democracy in America by de Tocqueville. Exactly, Crow. Definitely food for thought. I don't see people being happy to be told that they've got to tighten the belts and do with less. We don't have the generation that was in the 1930s. We have a generation that government has stepped into every facet of life to support, and we have a huge population as a result of that. A good percentage of which is incapable of taking care of itself, absent government. Is that a good way to build a future? I don't know. I think I'm going to have some pasta tonight, Flan. I'm keeping an eye on the West Virginia Tech game here. Oh, they're conserving. Yeah, I mean, we're not built that way, Jake. We've had 90 years of increasing tentacles of government. Education, student loans, right? Food, housing, medicine. Yeah, Russ said, don't we have an obligation to try to figure out what's wrong with our country and try to fix it? Suppose, Russ, that I run for Senate in California, a federal senator, and I tell people the way we've got to fix it is we've got to raise taxes. And we've got to condition a future where people don't depend on government for their support. What chance do you think I would have to be elected? How about if somebody came up and said Social Security needs to be rejigged because the benefits are not actuarially sound on an actuary basis? We're paying out more than we can sustain in the long run. Therefore, we need to probably reduce benefits or raise taxes. Isn't that called the third rail? Yeah, Jen. You have no chance of getting them. That's long gone. I mean, those tough decisions that used to be made in the 1920s and the first 150 years of America. Hey, Joni, they don't make those decisions anymore. We have a printing press, right? Yeah, I got it live here. People aren't conditioned to think that way now. There is no memory of 1932. Simply import millions of immigrants to fund the benefits, but they need jobs, right? So now you have an additional huge bulge of spending that needs to be done. As they come in, they need to go somewhere, and they further depress the wage rates dramatically. Other people become desperate for jobs and things like that. And here comes 10 million new people in. Everything going forward acts as a depressant on the prevailing wage and price structure in this nation. Yeah, it come down hard on the rich because the rich are the ones that leverage their life up the most. So it's something to think about. People go crazy because there's people crossing the Rio Grande every day, thousands of people. Right? So how are we going to allow, just open up so everybody can come? Turn the ground, they're going down. And the crow, there's no generational memory. That's why human beings repeat the same mistakes, because there is no generational memory. People are fearful when things are bottoming, and they're greedy when things are topping. That's never going to change. That's the whole basis of the Elliott wave theory, is psychology. Hey Brad, how you doing? To let those people in, yeah, I mean, they're desperate. They leave desperate situations. But it acts as an additional lever to depress things, wage scales and things like that. Right. Plus, we've had an era where people don't want to do manual. They don't want to go out to the fields and pick grapes or harvest oranges and pick blueberries. Yeah, immigration in 2022 is a free-for-all. Just a free-for-all. Yeah, and I think immigrants, Amanda, will continue to build this country. Hey, Dina, that's one of the strengths of America. You bring in so many cultural positives, but the cultural aspects we're bringing in today don't typically jibe with the American experience. I.e., immigrants from the Middle East and places that want things in growing numbers like Sharia law. They want to dictate morality in an America where we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So trying to assimilate those people in is a huge challenge. And in a lot of these communities, they have their own policing force, they have their own justice squads, and assimilation is much more challenging now. That's a problem because the world is much more diverse. When we took in immigrants in the 1900s, where were they from? From 1860s, in the early days of the Civil War, when they threw open the country to immigration, they wanted tons of Irish people to come in and get involved and start fighting for the North in the Civil War. We had Irish immigrants, we had German immigrants, we had Italian immigrants. Those were really the three big principal waves that came in, and most of those people wanted to escape. Like in Prussia, mandatory, like my distant relatives that were tired of being impressed into service and had already fought in the Prussian army for a 5-year stint, and then they were told you got to come back now for a 10-year stint. They said, fuck it, we're out of here. Got on a steamship in Hamburg and came to Baltimore. But now look at the diversity of people that come into the nation. It's far different. The only wave of South Americans or Mexicans that we had come in were during World War II, when you had the braceros that came in. that came in on visas so that they could run the farms while, soldiers were off fighting. Yeah, wars gained from countries. We can't just speak about Native Americans. The history of warfare. The Romans took over, Norman the Conqueror, and the French, and countries took other land, and Vikings landed in cracked skulls, and the freaking Genghis Khan ripped China a new asshole. Right. History's just replete with people grabbing land, and right. So it's an interesting topic for sure. Very interesting. Hey, Mew, how you doing? Time to get a beer and some peanuts. Yeah, I'm with you, Amanda. I agree with what you're saying. No, a lot of Mexicans don't approve of that. They're not as all for gung-ho as you'd think that they are. Many Mexicans have switched their party loyalty to the Republican side because now they're business people and they see the cost that this extracts on society. And they felt like they were just taken for granted by the Democrat Party. It's an interesting discussion. Let me tell you, it's going to get a lot more interesting in the future. There's going to be a hell of a lot more people that are going to be interested in the future. Trust me. That's the biggest prediction I can make. Once events capture people's attention, it'll be years before it's let go again. Closed off the trail now because somebody got their ass beaten down there. Found somebody half dead on their bike. Shemay, we're coming from the golden hour to the blue hour. Thank you for those of you participating in the discussion tonight, and those of you listening. I appreciate it. Breathalyzers in all new vehicles. I had thought that the incident of driving under the influence, DUI, and had declined. But they're talking about raising the federal alcohol tax now because of too much alcoholism. Well, shit, look at what people are dealing with. I've cut down to one beer a night, but I'll be doing it up on Friday night. I decided I'll just live it up that night. Look at the world we live in. Look at the way I got screwed on my jobs and shit. Tax, that's right. $17 per 100 proof gallon. I don't know if that's increased. Hey Tater, how you doing, sweetie? What's up, beautiful? Nothing like peanuts in a beer. Oh, I got one more day tomorrow of moving. I must be nuts. It's hard for me to say no. Yeah, we're paying proportionally less taxes today than we did in the 1960s. But it's just the burden feels greater because we don't have the disposable income anymore. Oh, hey, it's good to have Slug Bug in the chat. I don't see Elaine too often. Oh, look at that lawn. I think I'm going to turn on the watering system tonight. No surrender, Ronnie, that's right. Ronnie's got it right. Ronnie's like, let's do it up. Hey, it's good to be a West Virginia better tonight. Ask Bird if I can click this breaker on. Ooh. Is he here? Blackbird. He might be out on a beer run. Blackbird, are you here? Look at this. Click that breaker. There we go. Yeah, lawn's looking good. What's up, Street Life? Street Life has finally made me accept the brilliance of Tom Brady. I just hope he doesn't get hurt. The hell time is it? I had this off, so I got to reset this. Let's see. A hell of an operation here to keep this son of a bitch going. Luckily, I already trimmed the trees. I got to get some of these citrus trees trimmed down. The sour orange tree here. Yeah, I only got one pro football bet this week. We'll be talking about it tonight on the Vegas Rosie, the betting coming up for the weekend. We already are underway in one of them. We got West Virginia. I had a really nice line on that. I couldn't believe how it's almost a gift. But it ain't over till it's over. It's one thing I've learned. Virginia Tech is always good. Always good. To the last drop. Okay. See if I can kind of put this together a little bit. That door is only, oh shit, that door's only been able to take so much of a pounding. Yeah, I guess those things kind of broke off, so that's just let that go. That's about 5 years old anyway. Yeah, Alabama. I'm not. Most solid bet is Georgia, but you pay a dear price. We'll talk about. I hope you can join later, Street Life, or you'd be a perfect addition for Vegas Rosie Thursday, soon to be moved to Wednesdays because it seems like they want to have football every day of the week. So I got a lot to say today. I got a lot of shit to get off my chest. Somebody's gonna pay. Let me get plugged in. Oh, it's funny. I'm already used to West Virginia rat fucking me anyway. Hey, it's good. Let's get that plugged in, man. What the hell happened? Finally, back online. There we go. Let's see what we got here. I'm just getting set up, guys. I got to turn the lights on. Ain't it good to be back home again? Yeah, I do every single day. Every single freaking day. There's not a day that's gone by in over 2 years that I've not talked to, communicated with Missy Jim. Every single day. I will tell her you said hi. I think she just wanted to remove social media from her life. She's a more private person. We still love each other. Beautiful Ms. Lulu gave. Love that. Love that. It's 16 to 10. set. Yeah, West Virginia will figure a way to piss the game away. Get backdoored again. Oh, just like at the Pitt game. Alright, here we are. Yeah, we went shooting and we went a lot. I'm gonna go with Mr. Z. We're gonna do some more shooting. Probably desert shooting. You got to keep up your proficiency. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, cheers, and cheers. These are such good times. Do, 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 do. Happy days are here again. Thank you, baby. Are you a Jets or a Giants fan? Nice to see you, Robin. Yeah, it gives a thrill, right? You can actually go fire from a tank. Yeah, I like the design too. But you got to pay a lot of money. Hey, Eudaimonia Recline, go Giants. Talking about the games later tonight. Next week I'll probably have to record it because I'll be in Vegas. I encourage everybody in the United States to take advantage of their Second Amendment constitutional right. Not a gift, a right. Ensconced in the United States Constitution. On an equivalent basis of every other constitutional amendment. Oh, I think I'll be back on the AK again. He's got a good selection of 9mm. I like the Walther. Near my own, I bought a tank. Oh shit! Yeah, after this, Flan. Yeah, we got the we got Vegas Rosie coming up. I got the football picks for the weekend. Discussions. I don't actually give the. I steer people too. I fired an AK tons of times, Ed. They make it very hard to buy a pistol. Yeah, you can still have one for home defense though. I think New Jersey's probably the toughest. Yeah, Mr. Z was a tank driver. I think he has a Kimber too. Monkey Boy has a Glock. Hey, Lurker. I recommend a Glock for the average person because it's not going to be as finicky. 17 round. Are you in California? Remember they used to, you couldn't have the 15 round magazine. Yeah, well, P2E, you're not alone, my friend. And I think you're one of the most respectable and honorable people I know. Oh, in Idaho, you can have whatever the hell you want. Jake. I think I'd probably rather be done in by a bullet than a machete. Yeah, well, you've accomplished a lot in your life, P2E. Anybody that's an electrician, top of the trades. High capacity assault machete. You're not allowed to have full auto here. Scottish Theron is a wrecking machine. Yeah, so they have a place called Battlefield Las Vegas, but it costs a lot of money to, fire some of this ordnance. Get a knife gun and ready, single shot. I would like to get a Glock. Damn, can you guys believe it was 2 months ago that I started this project of getting the CCW here? I don't even think I'm halfway through yet. October 5th, I get fingerprinted. Then they said 13 to 16 weeks. Then you got to go in for an interview. And then you got to take a 16-hour course. Done, seen a bit within, yeah. I think you've accomplished a lot. You're young. Wait till you're my age, P2E. And old broad. I don't even like 45 caliber. I don't even want to. Yeah, they're infringing on my right, Ronnie, but I was at my son's. Hey, Nino, how you doing tonight? I know, Ronnie. But they're, you know, unless the pip squeaks, then they're not going to worry about it. I'm really in the bluest of the blue. Yeah, if they denied me, I would, Tio. Be a test case. But I think there's been a rush of a lot of people because based on how soon I can get my appointment to get fingerprinted, it was originally going to be September 30th, but because I'm going to Vegas, it's going to be October 5th. But that was a pretty good wait just to go in and get fingerprinted. Oh, and by the way, guys, I am heading to Las Vegas Wednesday, okay? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and coming back on Monday. And gonna have one more go at horse racing. I have a duck annihilator gun. I like to see him drop from the sky. Ed, shame on you. Just home from a late bike ride. Strawberry rhubarb pie. So we'll be in Vegas. I've already told Mr. Z we're going to continue to explore some new places to eat. Always fun. Bring some more good content. It's going to be wunderbar. These are such good times. No, they don't. P2E, it's such a long, drawn-out, labored process. Yeah, I'm going on Wednesday and coming back the following Monday. Yeah, the operative word is cooked correctly, Ed. I love to see. Yeah, I keep telling them we got to press because we're proud. We don't eat in casinos anymore. There's a lot of good content. Yeah, I used to play poker, tournament poker, Jake. These days, though, I don't know if I have the patience to sit there and for hours on my ass and come in 28th place out of 200 people and walk away with nothing. To win a tournament with a couple hundred people, two things need to happen. You need to have a good run of cards in there. And number two, you need to survive 2 all-in bluffs or calls. Who knows? Yeah, James, this might be the time to go out to Hoover. But damn, I need more light. Because by the time we get out there, it's going to be like dark as... It's going to be dark as hell. Right? I mean, we'll eat at the barbecue place again. Yeah, poker's a commitment, man. Oh, okay, Jay. Oh, that's cool. All right, thank you, Jay. Poker's long. It's a commitment. Tournament poker. I'd rather sit in a tournament than a cash game. Pay a little bit of money with a chance to really win something big as opposed to being stripped like a buzzard at a cash game. I mean, you got guys in Vegas that are professional. Shit, man. They eat people like me for dinner. I'm pretty smart. But if you have to look around the table and wonder who the turkey is, man, you're the turkey. But if I'm in a tournament game and I got the same number of chips, man, I go all in on these guys like it's like on their mama, man. I don't care. Yeah, it makes sense, Jake. I'm not putting the time in. Absolutely, I'd rather put the time into sports betting, where I think I have a better innate idea of what a line should be. I mean, I can look at a board and say this line is not correct. Sometimes I get my ass kicked. Sometimes I get backdoored. West Virginia is famous for backdooring me. Yes, there ain't no way I'm going to sit into a cash poker game and be immediately identified as the chump. Well, Amanda, you look at people like Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey, there are people, who else? Johnny Chan, Philip Negreanu. There's people that consistently do well. You know why they consistently do well? Because they bully people. Any chance they have to push their chips all in on somebody, they think they're going to just push in, and push in. Now, there's a reason that those people repeat. How come Phil Hellmuth has 14 bracelets or something? He doesn't get any better cards. He doesn't get any better cards than anybody else, right? Am I wrong? Nicole, I gotta have my dinner. Shit. What would I do all these years without Nicole, huh? Always good to see Nicole. So happy about the success she's making in life. Well, they are, Amanda, because you have a certain amount of bravado as a professional poker player. Love you more, honey. There's a certain amount of, you need that in your face, right? I mean, go watch the movie Rounders. If you want to see a great poker movie with Teddy KGB and Matt Damon and John Malkovich, it's a great movie. No, I haven't seen that, T.O. I'm more worried about what this hurricane's going to do to coastal Canada up there. Hello, Blackbird.
Hey, Rosie.
What's going on? Yeah, Rounders is a great movie.
Just roaming around.
I love Teddy KGB. Hey, Toodles. How you doing, honey? There's the Cincinnati girl. How are you doing, honey? Good to see you, Dari D. We only got one pro bet going this weekend. You'll have to tune in to Vegas Rosie later to find out what the hell it is. I'm going to do some work on Kitchen Stadium this weekend. I think I'm going to get on the ladder. I'm doing good, honey. Life is pretty good. Just hoping I don't get backdoored by Virginia Tech tonight. So get our betting weekend off to a good start. It's weird now. It's football on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I swear they want to have football. Eventually there's going to be football every day of the week. It's only Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't got anything right now, right? It's a lot for me to keep up with. I got like 133 college teams, 33 pro teams. It's a shitload of stuff. From the Akron Zips and the Kent State Golden Flash to the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. I do love all sports. And I enjoy beating the bookies. That's what I enjoy. It's a mental challenge. Right. You're matching your wits against the smartest guys in the world. You know, the pinnacle in Netherlands Antilles and Costa Rica. Two of the sharpest books.
Queen Cupcake says hello.
Oh, who is it?
Queen Cupcake.
Oh, hello, Queen Cupcake. How are you? How's your phone working out, Bert? Are you happy?
Yeah, it works and it charges.
And it's got a good battery.
Yeah, I got a good battery.
Well, everybody's happy that you're live again. So
Yeah, pretty
football
cool.
weekend coming up. I'm just happy you're on the air again and doing your thing.
Yeah, I got a phone.
Yeah, and you got the same one as my backup phone, the A53s. So
Yeah.
5G.
It was a trip because I set it all up and I did it all myself. I was like,
Yeah, you did good. Do you have your dono alerts tied in and everything?
I don't. Someone said I needed a code or something. I forgot.
Yeah,
I did it before.
why don't you work with me this weekend so we can put your dono alerts?
Yeah, because it said put code before or something. I forgot how I did it, but I did.
Yeah,
it
because
before.
I would like people to be able to support your channel and stuff. So, oh, the crows are roosting. Here we go.
More markets are gonna come out. All right, bring it here.
You gotta love Bird. What a mellow guy. Mellow, 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 mellow. So we're gonna have fun in Vegas again. There's well, I don't know. There's a slim chance Monday I could go down to Palm Springs. I don't know. But I dread that ride. Yeah, some Russians are leaving, but you know, Tio, the vast majority will just, they'll do it up, man. They'll put the gun in their arm and go. Hey, it's beautiful Charlotte. How you doing, honey? Good to see you. Hope we get to see it, Charlotte in Vegas again. Yeah, more Vegas content, more stuff. It's going to be a lot of sports book stuff going on. Going to throw myself in the horse racing fire again. I think the best thing I did was take 3 weeks off and just totally clear my head on that shit. I've got to go start getting ready for hockey too. I'm starting to study the NHL. Yeah, Charlotte, you know I love you. Time to get down on some NHL, and I think yeah, I got it, Ward. I got the game live here. West Virginia's 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 44. We're looking okay. I mean, it was a ridiculously tight spread. I don't know what these guys were thinking, but I could still get backdoored here. West Virginia's allowed me to get backdoored before, so JT Daniels is known to throw up the goofball. 1 minute to go in the third. Well, both of those teams are good teams, Flan. Pittsburgh and Cleveland's got a hell of a running back in Chubb there. And remember, anytime that Pittsburgh wants, they can throw Pickett into the quarterback role. This guy was the greatest. He was from Pitt last year. This guy's fucking unbelievable. So if they get tired of Trubisky, hello, Pickett. This guy like set a record for quarterbacks. Oh, I guess I'll get some Woodard on here because 8:30 I got to get Vegas Rosie live. Yeah, friggin' Pittsburgh backdoored me on week 0 there. Last minute pickoff. But this line was ridiculously close, 2.5 points in Virginia Tech and West Virginia, really? Oh. Too tight a line. It's an insult to West Virginia. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, Jake, take care. Thank you. Good to see you. And don't forget, at 8:30 we go live with football for the weekend, picks, sports with an eye towards sports betting. What looks good, what looks tasty, what looks like a trap coming up. We got some trap games, and as the season goes on, the lines get sharper and it's harder to win because people have more data, more information. They know who's a contender and who's a pretender, and it gets really hard. Really hard. So you got to make hay while the sun shines. I think we got 8 bets. We got 8 bets rolling. Our first pro football bet of the year. Another ridiculous line. I think baby socks. I thought I saw baby socks. Yeah, they look good. Grandson's got a good team. Yeah, it's going to spend some time this weekend and really, I'm going to try to keep this one going. Not quite sure if I'm going to tarp over. But I can probably get a cheap, like, blue tarp from 10 foot by something. Yeah, it's exciting, Charlotte. I love football. I think it's very good for young guys to be on, and women to be on, girls to be on organized sports. It gives them a sense of working together. Yeah, she does lots of videos. I think we got to go shopping tomorrow night too. Where's Tomato Face? Tomato Face. I think he's always liked to stick his face into the tomatoes here. Oh, that's nice, P2E. That's great. Competition is a great way to strengthen your skill set and instill confidence. Like Mr. Z, he's all like, I don't know about this sport. Now he's all gung-ho on the sports betting. I tell him to go to the casino, he goes. Yeah, that's a nice thing, P2E. Ooh, team sports are wonderful. Basketball Jones, they call me Basketball Jones. I would like to be, if I had to do it over again, I might do culinary stuff, you know. But people like, Gordon Ramsay would friggin' hate it if I had a bread knife as my main knife to use all the time. He'd go out of his mind. Are you bloody kidding? What the bloody hell is that? Hey man, you gotta use whatever works for you, right?
You hang out. Say hello. Look, you get this stuff. Chicken is free. Casserole. Are you kidding? I want some. A casserole. Fish and chicken. Right?
We got to get some water tomorrow night too. I'm just having some pasta here. What the bloody hell? Yeah, I don't know, Amanda. I just hate the way he abuses people. Just freaking abusive. Do, 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 do. You know, he go everything he hates in a restaurant, right? I mean, no matter what anybody does, it's always shit. Pardon me. Do do do. Ooh 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 ooh. Do 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 do. Yeah, the Fighting Illini are kicking Chattanooga's ass tonight. I like Illinois. Ooh. Coastal Carolina and Georgia State. Okay, Shimei, take care. Thanks for coming in tonight.
So that is tomato paste. We would call it squash liquor, right? So this one we wouldn't have to import.
I wonder what the hell that noise was. Right. Basketball Jones.
Baby squash. Baby sauce.
I hope Jen doesn't appear for pasta nights. Do 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 do. Basketball Jones. Terrible pasta. I got to use it up. Do 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 do. Every time I mention Georgia, Amanda's right in there, baby. It's like I got a hell of a lot to say, Rosie. Yeah, the terrible pasta, I got to use it up. I'll stick with the Barilla from now on. Not this crap stuff is terrible. Ah, terrible. Do 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 do. She's the only person I ever knew in my life exactly that didn't like pasta. It's like almost un-American. Do 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 ooh, ooh. Yeah, West Virginia is exerting dominance. It's West Virginia against Virginia Tech, B Tech. You believe that line was 2.5? What's up, EJ? Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. These idiots talking up Virginia Tech. Oh, they're going to be good. This guy's got 0 offense. But it was damn scary opening up, seeing that stadium there. Oh shit, the people were going nuts. God, what an opener they had. I don't know, man. This is Tara. Ah.
Oh, you have little apartments.
I wonder how long it'll be before Pittsburgh starts using Kenny Pickett. Hometown favorite. Yeah, I put the watering system back on again. I don't think they're going to stick with Trubisky too long. Not when they got the quarterback of the future. Yep, thumbs up, appreciate it. We had a very good discussion earlier.
Rosie, who did this come from?
It came from Bill Cody,
Bill.
C-O-D-Y. Bill Cody and his wife, Michelle.
Oh, thank you.
Pasta just breaks apart. It's weird. Just barely poorly made. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't even know if he's opened it yet. Good night, EJ. Thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah, let him warm up my street.
Did you open it up, Bird? Tomato paste. Tomato paste. Good night, eudaimonia. Good night. Thank you for coming in. It's kind of funky pasta. I don't know quite how to describe it. right, time to commence to eating. Ooh. Ah. Let me tell you, I was watching on YouTube. They had the live feed of the coming on the field for the West Virginia at Virginia Tech game in Blacksburg at Virginia Tech. God, man, it was like scary as hell. There's so damn many students and screaming and fireworks and everybody in the stands is like, holy crap. It's like just sent chills down your spine. Hi, Dave. Good. Getting ready to open up for some sports betting talk in about a half hour or so. Seeing if we're going to cash our first bet. Yeah, the pasta just doesn't, I guess it was just not the right flour or something they used. Not good. Something weird. You got rigged penne pasta. It shouldn't break apart lengthwise. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't like to waste stuff, Nino. If I decided to buy it, I gotta live with the consequences of it. Lesson learned, right? Yeah, they saved a few pennies on the penne, exactly. It's like, what the hell? Just, you know, compared to Barilla or something good. How have you been, Dave? I like that when somebody tells me they're living the dream. That's nice. Living the dream. I'm going to be, by the way, Flan, I'm going to be looking into hockey this year, too. I've already started analyzing the teams. Returning players, new players, power ratings. Goalies. Just to catch for, well, that's nice, Dave. Because unbelievable. The gate opened, the damn horse. I'm all excited. Fucking horse comes out and turns all the way around facing the gate. I'm like, what the hell? Catherine Podolak, take your troll game elsewhere. Horses, man, you never know what the hell they're gonna do. I was excited. My first ever race with fences that they have to jump. I'm all excited. Damn thing, gate opens, comes out, take 2 steps, and then turns around. Yeah, typical troll move. First time you ever saw the person in the chat. It's what we call a DFA, desperate for attention. He got spooked or something, but he never caught up. Another 3 furlongs, he might have done the job, but he was just too far back. He was like 3 furlongs behind before he even got his ass straightened out which way you're going. Thing destroyed a lot of money on that bet. Yeah, Flan, you ought to see how ridiculous that line was for that game. Production issues. Oh, that's it. Too funny. That's right, Dave. You'll have a troll that shows up. Why don't you ever acknowledge me? It's like it's the first time you've ever been in the chat. I don't give a shit. I got bigger fish to fry these days. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm always excited for football. Football Thursday, soon to be Wednesday. I'm going to have to start recording them. Get them out earlier. No, it's somebody, Thursday night they have something up at Garcia's Stereo there. They're doing it up with something up there. Pizza's nice. I already had my 1 beer tonight. No, it's up on the road there. They got something going on. Those guys get together. Remember, we used to walk around and they were in the garage there. You definitely have a fan in Amanda, Dave. Do 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 do. Man, that hit the spot. Yeah, Dave, Amanda's your #1 fan. Well, I ate that shitty pasta. Every damn bit of it. I got a little bit more. No, nothing wrong with that at all. I admire that. Guy's flying up there. What a dick. I got a little bit more, unfortunately. I got a little bit more. Let me probably take that off of there. Yeah, good. I have a thing you can pin the score to your phone, which is nice. Yeah, I've got like one more bag left. So giving it to the poor would be a disservice for sure. Beautiful night, comfortable. I gotta get my other phone ready to go tonight. It's got all the odds. Ooh. Yeah, let us speak of it no more. No, I don't want to donate it. Somebody might come and burn the house down. Dayton in 2020, go to the Greek festival. They can park at his house and then take me there. Well, you're a desirable commodity, Amanda. I mean, what the hell? Right, he could say, I want to put 2 bags over your head and do you up in case one breaks. You got the safety bag. I mean, it's nice to be desired, right? Rosie, I'm not that kind of gal. I'm not made that way. A 2-bagger. I mean, it's nice to be desired, right? I mean, let's put two and two together. Right? Greek festival, date, action, oompa, ouzo, oompa. Yeah, could you double bag that just for safety's sake? like I'm a perfect lady. I would never, ever, ever, right? Yeah, I gotta wait till it's available at my place, so. And made that way after. Yeah, so go fun, go to the festival, have a good time, have a drink, have a little dinner, have a little squishy fun. Right, oy vey, go have a little fun, a little dinner. Just prep yourself. Go watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And you'll be all set. Oompa. What was that actress's name? Nardis? Catherine Nardis or something? You could be going to an Italian wedding like watching Sopranos. The fuck? How you doing? You don't say hi to me no more? I'm walking down the street. You fucking cross the street, you piece of shit. Yeah, fungal on you. Yeah, I'm giving Amanda a hard time. I am. She knows I love her. I live vicariously through her life. Have a little dinner, have a little fun. Exactly. Nia Vardalos, thank you, that's her name. Have a little fun, have a little dinner. Do 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 do. Ooh. Do 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 do. Ooh. Do do ooh ooh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All of a sudden, they just took that damn score down. Where in the hell did it go? You got the Akron Zips. I love that. The Zips. Oh, that game's over. 33-10. Stick a fork in it. All right. We're up our first. Good night, Nino. Yeah, we love you. Hey, Lee. All right, guys, I'm going to close it down for a bit. I'm going to go live a little earlier here. I've got a lot of ground to cover. Congratulations to the West Virginia Mountaineers for going into Blacksburg, Virginia. Going on Wednesday to Vegas. I have thought about Reno. It'll be nicer in fall up there. So it's definitely on the agenda. So you guys who were here tonight, thank you. Very interesting early discussion. I've got a lot of ground to cover for those of you who bet sports. We've just gone out to 12-5 on the season so far, so we've got 7 more games rolling this weekend. I've got a lot of thoughts on Pro Bowl and college ball. So yeah, let's go do it up. So to my moderators, thank you so much for how wonderful you all are. And I will see you guys in a few minutes. Vegas Rosie returns. Football Thursday. And we move to Wednesday night next week. Thanks, everybody. Do, 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 do.